The first card you have for your past is Judgment. So, yes, this is really, I'm actually seeing a series of times where there was, yes, I'm seeing judgment, then forgiveness, judgment, then forgiveness. So backwards and forwards, on and off. Usually, when you get the Judgment card, judgment's final. That's it. There's nothing more. It's over with. But I'm seeing that, there was kind of some backwards and forwards. So somebody was acting in a really terrible way. You judged them, then you forgave them. And then it all blew up again, and you judged them, then you forgave them, things settled down, and then the process started over and over again. So I'm seeing someone that you kept on forgiving over and over again. Because I'm looking at the family in this card, and they have their backs to us, but there's a mirror image of them on the other side of this card. And, if you put a mirror opposite another mirror, it reflects itself over and over and over again into infinity. It looks like infinity. It goes on and on forever and ever and ever. If you've ever been somewhere where there's a mirror on one side, a mirror on the other side, it just goes on and on and on forever. And that's what was happening. So you could have forgiven someone over and over again after judging them, and then it just went on and on, kind of into infinity, so many times. Yes, thank you very much. Really, I just don't know anymore. So yes, it went over and over and over again. So you kept on forgiving this person over and over and over again. It's so ridiculous. I'm just laughing with these noises. It is so ridiculous. So I'm sorry about this. I'm not going to start again. I hate editing. I hate starting it. Once I've started, I want to keep going. Okay, so I'm seeing, yes, you went through this with this person. You judged them, and you forgave them, and you judged them. So this is really not a very good person. This is not a very honest person that you went through this with. So at this time in your past, I'm seeing that, you forgave them so many times, and you got to the point where you just said, look, I cannot keep on forgiving this person over and over again. I'm exhausted. I'm not going to go through this again. I'm tired of second guessing everything about them. I'm tired of internally questioning everything they say, not quite believing anything they say. That's the stage it was at by this time. So yeah, I'm still not seeing that you totally finished with them for some reason. It's like you're probably on the road toward finishing with them eventually, but you weren't quite there with them. The heart's a difficult thing. I mean, your head can tell you, right, that's it, I've had enough, but your heart sometimes doesn't quite catch up with your head, and I'm seeing that might be what is happening here, even though you knew that this wasn't right, and you knew that you couldn't be with someone who you weren't trusting. But yes, I'm seeing that in your past, even when they really hurt you in your more distant past, they had a kind of an aura around them, kind of a gloss around them, and you kept on coming back to them. You kept on seeing this kind of gloss around them, if that makes sense. But at this time, this aura was starting to fade away. And I know this is painful, but I'm glad it was, because this person really is not good for you. If you can't trust them, there's no point in being with someone. The next card you have, your past, is the 9 of Cups. So yes, look at this person. Look at this smug man in this card. So yes, this person could have been hiding things from you. But maybe they weren't very good at hiding things, because you kept on catching them and forgiving them and catching them out and then forgiving them again. So they're not very good at hiding things if you kept on finding things out about them and forgiving them over and over again. But yes, this is kind of, okay, this is a little bit strange. I hope this is going to make sense. I'll just tell you what I'm seeing. There was a lot of shadiness obviously going on, a lot of hiding things going on, but it wasn't that made you lose interest in them. It should have been. You should have lost interest in them because of these things, but you went back after that again and again. So it was just time passing that did it eventually for you. It was like time was passing, you grew tired of it, you grew tired of them kind of thing, because, this kind of doing things over and over again that were untrustworthy started off this process. But then, by the end of it, you were just like, I'm just so tired of this. I just can't stand this anymore. I've lost any feeling I had. There were lots of feelings toward this person that kept you coming back, and these were starting to fade away at this time. That's what I'm seeing. I hope that makes sense. The last card you have, your past, is, yes, the Three of Swords, yes. So again, yeah, for a long time in your head, you could have been knowing that something was wrong in your head. It was like your instincts were telling you something was wrong. You couldn't trust them. You knew that. That was in your head. But then your heart wasn't quite catching up with your head. And yes, this was a process. You might still be going through this process. You might not have completely ended anything with this person yet. Or you might have, and you might still be talking to them or something like that. So there's a little bit of kind of ambiguity around this. You might not be sure whether you're actually finished with them in your head or your heart or something. So if this is just a process, it just takes time, and your heart will eventually catch up completely with your head eventually. So the first card you have, your present, is the Five of Swords. So yes, as you go through this process, this is probably what you're still going through, of your heart catching up to your head. A lot of things that you used to kind of feel about this person, a lot of things that you used to actually think were quite nice about this person, little annoying habits that you kind of thought, oh, that's quite cute, that's kind of funny and nice about them, now they're going to be starting to really annoy you. So things like oh, isn't that cute when they do that little look on their face? Ha ha ha. Oh, when they say that thing. Oh, when they leave that thing on the floor, in the middle of the floor. Ha ha ha. Isn't that cute? It's not cute anymore. Even the look on their face might drive you crazy. Even their laugh might start to drive you crazy and annoy you. At this time, I'm still not sure whether you're completely ready to walk away from this person, but definitely I can see that you're on this track. Once you start losing any patience with them, once little things that you used to start to love about them now start to annoy you, that's when you're definitely on that road to kind of eventually ending things. And yeah, you might start to challenge this person about things, but yes, definitely, this is kind of, yeah, this is you're along the road. You're along the road in this process. That's what I'm trying to say. I keep on hearing turning tables around. So there were times where this is actually quite a sneaky person, actually, because there were times when you would confront them. Back in the Judgment card, you'd say, what are you doing that for? I caught you doing that. Or why are you doing that? And you'd confront them, and they'd kind of say, turn the tables back onto you and make it look like it was your fault for asking them. I hate people like that. I hate people like that. It's like, it's like, and this might have been done in a subtle way. It's like when you ask someone a question and then they ask you back another question to make it look like you're on the spot. It's that kind of horrible thing. I'm seeing a lot of that as well. A lot of this went on in your past, and you might be reliving these things in your head again. And that makes everything they do at this time a lot more annoying to you and driving you kind of crazy. This is a very tricky person. So the next card you have, your present, is the World. Beautiful, beautiful card. So yeah, this is taking time, but you're definitely on the right track. The tables are turning back around again. I'm seeing that you probably don't want to hear this, but your experiences with this person, even though you've been through a lot, and you're probably still going through a lot, because I'm seeing that you're still going through this process. But again, eventually, this is going to be a good thing for you. You're learning a lot. You're learning a lot about what you will tolerate. You're learning about what you will not tolerate, not just in love, but in all areas of your life, especially your workplace, because I'm specifically seeing that you might be overlooked for something, or you might feel like you're being overlooked for something in the workplace. You might be feeling a little bit sidelined in your workplace or something like that. Now, gradually you're going to either stand up for yourself or you're going to move on. Something's going to come to a point where you say, right, that is it in my work, in my relationship, in every other area of my life. Even people who drive me crazy and expect me to do things for them, I'm not going to do this anymore. I've had enough of forgiving people. I've had enough of doing whatever they say. That's it. And this is when you're going to go through this circle, which is like a laurel wreath which means kind of walking through, finding freedom, going into a new life. You're going to go through that, and then you're going to find this freedom. But at this point, you're still in that process, but you are getting there. You are definitely getting there. The last card you have, your present, is the Seven of Swords. Okay, right. Don't be angry. I'm actually seeing what you might be doing at this time is looking through things. Yeah, you're still going through this process. I know I keep repeating myself, but you are still going through this process. And I'm seeing you might be looking through things. Now, you might be looking through their phone, actually, or you might be looking through their social media, or you might be looking, searching for things, searching for answers. Now, I think, if you have to search for things, if you have to look through people's phones or look on their social media, that tells me that you can't trust them. There's a reason why you're doing it. So even if you don't find anything, that tells you everything. The fact that you're even doing that tells you all you need to know. Even if you found that they were Mother Teresa, that tells you everything you need to know, because you feel that you cannot trust them, and there's a reason why that is. So I'm seeing that you probably will not find anything. Actually, this person's very good at hiding things. They're a very sneaky person. They know what they're doing. But look, you know why you're doing it. You know you can't trust them, and you're on the road to this process. You know that. The first card you have for your future is the Five of Wands. So yeah, I always see this as the mess card. This is a great big mess, this card. In this reading, I'm seeing that, yeah, this might still be, yeah, this is you. You're still going to be in this process. You're untangling a lot of things. You're trying to find a lot of answers about things. You will keep on looking for answers. You're going to keep on seeing, oh, have they done this? Have they done that? I have to know the facts. I have to know this. I have to know that. Eventually, you're not even going to bother looking for answers. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you find or what you don't find. You're going to just come to the end of this and you're going to say, I don't care what I find. I'm not even looking for anything. I've had enough. I'm going to walk away from this mess. I am not going to be involved in this mess anymore. This is the end of things for me. And yes, because you have wands, this is speeding things up. So you're going to go through this process a lot quicker at this time. It's speeding up for you. You're fed up with it by this time. The next card you have, your future, is the Nine of Wands, more wands. So yes, you're going to draw a line. You're going to put up a barrier between you and this person. It might just start off as a psychological barrier, a barrier that's just in your head. You might not physically completely move away from them yet. You might still be talking to them in some way. But yes, this is a barrier inside your head that you're starting off with, because this man has a bandage around his head. And that's not, they're doing your head in, as they say. They're driving you crazy in your head. Again, I'm seeing that with this bandage around this guy's head. So, yeah, this is still going to take a long time for you to slowly untangle yourself from this person, because they're a very tricky person. This isn't that easy. And I was feeling a little bit impatient with you, actually. I've got to admit it. When I was seeing in your present, I kept on saying, you're going through this process, you're going through this process. And I kept on thinking, when are you going to stop going through this process and get to the end? And I shouldn't have felt like that, because this is a very tricky person. This is a very difficult person. This person kind of has you kind of tangled up in some kind of web, is what I was seeing in the Five of Wands. So yes, this is very tricky, but you are going to do this. You are going to speed up this process, because there are wands all over your future. It's speeding up. And yes, it's been exhausting. Look at how tired this man is. It's been exhausting, but now you're pushing forward. You are pushing. He's pushing on that wand. You're going to start pushing forward. The last card you have, your future, is the Six of Wands. This is the victory card. Look at that. And I'm also seeing a cycle in this card, a cycle of endings and a cycle of beginnings, just like I was seeing in the World card. And there's the same wreath in both of those cards, I'm supposed to say. I'm not speaking very clearly, but yes, there is a laurel, I'll say it again, there's a laurel wreath in both of those cards. Now, a laurel wreath, because we have a wreath at Christmas time, and at Christmas time, obviously, this is about new beginnings, birth of Christ and all these kinds of things. So this is about, a laurel wreath is about new beginnings, walking through that wreath, walking through that circle and coming out the other side, almost like you're reborn. So there's a laurel wreath here. There's one in the world card, obviously. So this is what he's carrying on his wand. This is what you're working toward, this new beginning and this ending from this person and this horrible mess. And you're going to get out of that. The other thing I'm seeing here is, obviously, this is victory, and this man has a lot of people around him, a lot of people supporting him. You might have lost a lot of people around you when you're going through this process, and also before that, when you're with this person. You might have lost some friends while you're with this person. There are still quite a lot of people who do support you. Please contact these people again. Get into contact with a lot of people. Explain what you're going through with this person, and they're going to come around and they're going to support you, like the man in this card. You're going to have a lot of people who still support you. Yeah, some have left, some have not, and they're your real friends. Please contact these people and you'll feel a lot stronger, and you'll get through this a lot quicker if you have that support. That's what I'm seeing.